Hello, everyone. I'm Beth Seflu, the County Strategic Communications Director, and welcome back to another episode of the Rockland Roundtable podcast.
Yes, and hello, I'm Jenna Nazario, Director of Economic Development, Tourism, and Film, and we are so excited to be back for another episode.
We are, and this one is a great episode because this one is fueled by comments and/or questions that you all sent in.
That's right. When we first started the podcast, we decided to have a community corner where you could listen to the episodes or just honestly just share your thoughts about what you wanted us to talk about. And so we've gotten some comments and questions, and now it's time to go back and answer them and take it from there.
Absolutely. And just remember that if you didn't know we had a community corner
on
all the episodes, now you do. And all the episodes on YouTube are linked to where the corner is.
Yes.
And on our social media pages as well. So you can still submit questions. We encourage you to submit questions or comments. So this way we can start shaping the conversations based on things that you want to hear.
Exactly. So should we just dive right in?
Yeah, we can dive right in. Yeah.
First, we've had some really great diverse comments, which is what I really appreciate because, again, the whole point of this podcast was to be more transparent, but also to communicate with the public about a lot of their questions.
Yep.
So it's nice to see some of these, and I think it's good that we get to talk about it in more detail. And I think even more conversations are going to come from these questions.
I think so, too. We got so excited, by the way, when we got our first question. We're like, yes, somebody cares, somebody's listening.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm like, we've made it. Yes. All right, so let's kick it off.
Okay, so the first one, it came off as more of a comment about thoughtful revitalization. And the person said, revitalization shouldn't mean cosmetic improvements. It should focus on smart, functional upgrades. That includes clearly defined crosswalks, improved traffic signalization, better lane organization, and traffic calming measures that prioritize safety without sacrificing flow.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great comment, actually.
I really like this one.
Yeah, very well thought out.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to point out that municipalities have their own planning and zoning rules, and they are the ones that decide on major changes. So if there are certain issues or concerns that you have in a particular area, you really should be going to the local village or town and raising that concern with them, because those are the ones who would be able to actually tackle it or make the improvement that you're looking to make.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think it's important, too, is the differentiation between who owns what road, because when you're talking about traffic lights, depending on what traffic light you're talking about, depending on what road, depends on who's in charge of that traffic light. And so, but that's a big issue for people. We hear that a lot with just major corridors or major main streets in downtown. So when you want to revitalize a downtown, you have to sync the lights. You have to make sure it's accessible for walkers, bike riders, drivers, everything. So that's what's really great about this question or this comment. But yes, the municipalities have to participate because the county doesn't own half of these roads or really make those decisions.
And people forget that New York is a home rule state. So although the county is higher than the towns and the villages, we don't make that determination for them. It goes down to the local level.
Exactly. And that's, the county is responsible for county roads. Mm-hmm. The county does work with the Department of Transportation to kind of take on some of the maintenance of state roads, but we're not responsible for executing that decision. Like, it's still the municipal, like, we might help and participate and collaborate, but a lot of those decisions aren't the county's decisions to make.
And we don't pave state roads. I just want to point that out because we get so many complaints about the roads being terrible, but most of the really problematic roads are state roads. They are not county roads, and the county cannot pave those roads.
Exactly.
I don't know how many times I can say it.
I'm
gonna have to keep saying it and reminding people.
I know. We're going to have a whole episode on roads. I think that's going to be really important. But I think this is a really important discussion when talking about revitalization. Because what do you think of when you hear revitalization?
It's such a broad term that I feel like I don't think of one thing in specific, but basically rejuvenating an area.
Yeah. And that mostly a lot of people think of like the facades, upgrading the facades of the stores, making it more aesthetic, getting more housing, diversifying, kind of mixed use, mixed market. Nobody talks about roads. Nobody's like, oh, I want a crosswalk here. Oh, like the traffic light should be synced. So this is a really good point, and I think definitely worth more conversation in the future.
And I just want to point out that we did do an episode about what the county's planning department does
Yes.
and transportation. So if you want to learn more about that, we encourage you to watch or listen to that episode.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Lots of good things coming out of that
Yes.
episode. Things, we'll have more conversation with them
That's
later.
right. So let's get to the next one.
Yes. We need more parks. There is so much land that can be utilized. So we did have an episode with our environmental resources specifically about our parks
We did.
and what we own compared to how much open space there actually is here in the county. And then also what a passive and an active park is. So my question really, it's a great comment and I agree with it, but it's what type of park are you talking about? Do you want more active or do you want more passive? Because as we know, the county has 330 acres of open space that we've preserved since we did the open space grant, but that's all passive, which means you can just walk, you can hike. There's no playground equipment. There might be some benches. We do have some wayfinding, obviously, just to make sure you can get around, but it's not an active park or playground where you would go and, bring children. So the question really is, what type of park are you talking about?
Yeah. And some of those open space purchases we haven't done anything with yet. So
Correct.
some of them are just exactly what it sounds like, open space.
Yep, exactly.
But I also want to point out that 1/3 of the entire county, so over 42,000 acres, is preserved parkland. That includes state parks, county parks, and municipal parks, which is incredible. That equals 42 acres of parkland per 100 residents, which is more than 10 times the national standard, which is
crazy.
insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's amazing.
It is, because you know what? You still don't feel like it. Like, I don't feel like I live in the woods, but I also feel like I have, a little bit of everything here in Rockland. So,
and I think it's
nice.
that type of thought process that probably leads to somebody saying we want more parks, right? There's more open land that can be utilized,
Exactly.
which is true. You don't feel like there's that much parkland here and there's that much open space preserved, but it's insane to know we have that much here.
And what's important to also identify is that the county typically only has the ability to take care of passive parks. Active parks are very different. There's a lot of maintenance with active parks. When you listen to the environmental resource episode that we have, the one active park we have is Havistraw Bay, where there is a beautiful playground. There's gazebos. I mean, you're literally like on the Hudson River. But that's really the only one. And then there is also going to be some active opportunities at Kennedy Dells, which they're improving the workout equipment, which again, I kind of wish they hadn't, because now I don't have an excuse not to do it every time I go on that walk. But
I just pretend I don't see it.
I know. They're like, what is that?
Is that a bird over there?
Yeah, exactly. Like, look at those deer.
Look at that turtle.
Look at the family. It's so nice. But no, so the municipalities tend to have the active parks. And depending on the municipality, you might need to be a resident to go to that park. So again, going back to home rule, municipalities kind of make their own decisions. They tend to be the ones that manage the active playgrounds, and we manage the passive parks.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
One other thing before we go to a different topic. Rockland has about 3,600 acres of county parks. So we're talking about all the parkland acreage. We have quite a bit ourselves.
We sure do.
Yeah.
We sure do.
We're blessed.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next topic, which is the county using AI?
What a question. I feel like anytime someone hears AI, it's like, dun, 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 what's happening with artificial intelligence?
I know. And the short answer is yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're using AI.
Yes.
Not incredibly broadly yet, but we are dipping our toe in the pool
I
of
like
artificial
that.
intelligence.
Yes. That's a good way of saying it.
Which honestly, it's actually really great for governments when you think about it, because AI, the whole purpose of it is to expedite things. And we all know government moves slow.
We're a little slow at times. Yes.
It is slow. And so
it's a long process to get things done. Yeah.
I think it's going to change the game of the way government operates. Think of how many different processes we can probably try to expedite just by using AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's all about efficiency.
Yeah.
It's just making people work collaboratively and work harder, but at a better pace.
Yeah,
That's really what AI is.
It's like smarter and not harder.
Exactly. How many times have you heard that? Work smarter, not harder.
I've heard it a lot.
Yes. But yeah, what's really nice about the AI is, and it's a kind of like a government type of AI. So it's much more secured than just like your random AI apps that you have out there. So it's a way to kind of use it, but also have those safeguards and those,
Yeah.
firewalls that also come with being a government agency.
Yeah, so we can't release the types of programs that we're using for security reasons.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Yes.
But we could tell you some of the departments
Mhm.
that are starting to use them. So, for instance, our law department is using them. They're using it for legal research, helping them draft resolutions, and they're also using it to improve efficiency and workflow.
Mhm.
So, for example, AI prepares first drafts while staff finalize content, and it helps both the experienced and new employees work a bit faster. I can only imagine how long it takes to draft a resolution or law documents.
Have you seen how many whereases there are in a resolution?
No.
It's like, oh my goodness.
I don't even. Yeah, it's
Yes.
just. And my sister's actually a lawyer,
Oh,
and she
okay.
works all day, every day. And every lawyer I think I meet works all day, every day. So
Mhm.
I think anything we can give them to help speed that up a little bit or give them
Yeah.
a little bit less work to do is such a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it's just providing a more efficient template for them to just kind of plug and play, like why wouldn't you want that? I mean, there's
Exactly.
original thought that goes into everything. I think that's one of the misconceptions is that there is no human element to AI. But of course there is. AI only learns by what you tell it. So you have to give the information, and then it just really helps make it much more effective and efficient for you. So,
Yeah.
and that's really where the purchasing department comes in. I'm happy for them because the purchasing department, talk about the law department, I feel like they are just 24/7, 365 because the amount of bids and scope of work and contracts and proposals and quotes and everything that goes into that department, just having like an extra set of hands with AI, I think just makes their job so much easier.
It's so funny because when I first came to work for the county, the one department I was surprised by was purchasing
Mm-hmm.
or procurement. I had no idea that this type of department even existed.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have a hand in purchasing literally everything under the sun.
Yes.
From the toilet paper
Yes.
to anything, like even the furniture here. I mean, they have a hand in everything.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I had no idea
Yeah.
until I started working here.
And all of the requirements that go into it, whether it be state requirements or federal requirements, they have to just follow so
Bidding,
much guidance.
RFP,
Exactly.
it's so confusing.
Exactly.
It's so complicated.
I'll talk to the purchasing department and they'll tell me something. I'm like, I have no idea what you just said, but I trust that what you're doing is right because
they are very, very smart.
they
I
are.
give a
They
hand to
are.
them.
But they do. They're able to use planning, contract administration, analyze spending, reviewing drafts, developing criteria, helping with scopes of work to get those bids out sooner.
Yeah.
Because bids take a long time. And I think when we have our purchasing discussion, people are really going to have a newfound appreciation for what it takes to buy anything for the county and how much goes behind making sure that every county taxpayer dollar is spent appropriately. And, as a resident, I want to know that.
Yes,
So,
that's huge.
yeah.
The purchasing department let me know that tasks that would take 3 to 4 days now can be done in a day.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know.
That's
It's like,
oh,
It's
God, it's like your
incredible.
own personal assistant. I love
I
it.
know. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Mm.
So our ITS department is also
Mhm.
using AI. They're training staff to use it in different ways. Like for instance, we have it, built into one of our email systems, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about when you go on the website?
So we also have it on the website. We
Yeah.
have an AI chatbot. So its name is Rocky.
Ask Rocky. Oh, I love
Ask
that.
Rocky. Yeah, because the website's so big. And so we got that added to the website, I'd say about like 6 months ago,
Mhm.
so that if people are looking for something specific, they can type it into the chatbot and it could direct them in the right place, which
That's great.
honestly is great because otherwise, you're looking for a needle in a haystack sometimes. Depending on what
Exactly.
you need. So,
Yeah. Can you track like how many people use the chatbot?
yeah,
you
there
see
is a
that?
way on the back end to track it.
Oh, that would be so interesting just to see how many people like quickly go because it's like your new search engine, right? Hey, this is what I need. This is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Just take me to the site instead of, like you said, navigating.
Yeah, people are definitely using it. I think
Yeah.
right off the bat they started using it.
Yeah, that's
So,
great. That's great.
Yeah.
I would have loved that when I was in school. Like, when we had to do any type of research papers or, get citations, I would have been like, put in the keywords, find those articles, those peer-reviewed journals that apply to this. So I'm not looking for hours. You would look for hours for the data.
I know. Well, now people are just having a right the
Okay, that is
papers.
not. We do not condone that. No.
No, we do not condone that. But
No. You can't abuse it, and we don't abuse it.
I
so.
mean, they're trying to work smarter, not harder. I get
Exactly.
it. But
Sure.
sometimes
Is that smarter? I don't know. Are you learning anything when you do that? I don't know.
Yeah,
But
it depends on who you ask. I guess.
I guess that's true. That's very true. That's
Yes,
a
we do
conversation for
not
another day.
condone that. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So our last question was, what steps need to be taken and by whom when it comes to cleaning up debris from the main road? A county cleanup crew or the homeowner whose house borders the road?
This topic's actually been coming up a lot lately. There's been different media inquiries about trash to the county.
Interesting.
And then I've seen stuff on social media about trash. And to be honest, it just makes me so mad because I hate littering.
I agree.
I never litter, nothing out of my car. I keep it in the car. I throw it out where I'm going. Or if I have it on me when I'm out, there's millions of trash cans.
Yeah.
I mean, they're everywhere. You know
It's
that in
true.
Japan, they don't have trash cans.
I was just about to bring that up.
It's
That's so
carry
funny.
in, carry out.
Yes.
Like you cannot, there's no trash cans.
Yes.
It is like,
You own it. You own
you
that
own
trash. Yes, that's it.
you got to take it back with you.
Yes.
And
Maybe
they're
we should
it's so
adopt
clean
that.
there.
We should try that.
Oh, it would be a lot worse if we didn't have trash cans, but
Yes.
we do have trash cans.
Yeah.
So there's really no excuse.
Yeah. I think, I don't know if people know, I've seen the trash, the Keep Rockland Beautiful, I think is the organization.
Yes, it is the organization.
They do the cleanups. I'll see them on the
They
side of
do,
the
they
road.
do.
They are always, I think, have random events. Not random. I shouldn't say random. They have events throughout the year
They do.
where you can go volunteer and you can help clean up the streets. And
They
so
do.
it's nice to see that, like you and me, some people don't like littering and they don't like trash. But I think a lot of that, if I'm not mistaken, and we could look that up, is they're on major highways, like major roads. They're not on the local roads.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they're scheduled clean, if it's on major roads mostly, but I think if less people littered,
Yeah.
they would have less cleanups.
I agree.
It's definitely a team effort.
I agree.
The county is only responsible on our roads from curb to curb.
Mm-hmm.
And then towns and villages actually have their own rules when it comes to trash. And it's often enforced by code officers who can issue warnings or violations. If it's on private property, like if you're in a shopping center,
Yeah.
it's
on
a
the
property owner.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like a town or a village, it may be up to them. If it's your property, it's definitely yours.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. And if you live off of a main road, I can understand, because the question is it the crew or the homeowner whose house borders the road? So if you live off like a double yellow or a main road and, there's debris somewhere, that is a good question. Where does the property line end? Who owns what part? And that's so interesting. Even with sidewalks, like who owns that? Is it the
Yeah.
property owner? Do they own a portion of it? Do they own a portion of the road? And so those are legitimate questions, but that would really, when you're asking that question, you have to go to your municipality and
Yeah.
find out. And then I'm assuming you can get, the property, what do they call that? When you look at the whole house, the survey, and you can see.
I was waiting for. I was like,
I
I don't
was
know.
like, I don't know. You can see the surveyor and you can see where your property line is, because then you might have a question about that. Because you ever hear about when a tree falls on your house?
No.
So if a tree from your neighbor falls into your property, it's your problem. It becomes your problem. And it's just even though the tree originated on someone else's property, you then have to
Is
remove
it really?
Yes. Kind of crazy, right? So
I would have thought that maybe it'd be their fault because it fell from their
No.
property.
No. Yeah, it becomes yours. You become the owner of that fallen tree. Yeah. And then
It's a
you
very
gotta clean
exciting day
it
at
up.
that point.
I know. So I could see where, sometimes you have to just get clarification on those
Yeah.
things.
And, I just want to also point out that in terms of the bus stops, the bus shelters, the trash
Yes.
cans, again, that falls to whoever owns that property. So even though it's a county bus stop, if it's in the town, the village, it'll be theirs. If it's for instance, at the mall,
Mm-hmm.
that's,
Mhm.
the mall's responsibility, not the county's.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But they're really great questions because I
are.
think just looking at all these questions, people just want the county to be pretty and look nice.
Well, it looks terrible when people litter.
I know.
I don't know how people do it.
I know. I don't know either. I mean, I don't think I've ever rolled down my window and threw something out of the car.
Oh, whenever I see
know.
people do it, it makes me so mad. I actually saw somebody do it today.
Really?
It wasn't a very big piece of trash. It was something small, but yeah, he opened his window and tossed it out. And I was
Oh
like,
my goodness.
I hate that. I
Jeez.
hate that.
Does that mean they have just an immaculate car? Like
I don't
literally
understand.
no dirt anywhere because you're throwing everything out the window?
Probably.
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
I just want to take that trash and throw it back in their car.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, there are people that do that.
Okay. Well, we won't go that far.
They'll watch for people that litter, and then they follow them. They do videos on it. They follow them to somewhere where they stop, and when they go out of the car, let's just say they're going to a gas station.
Yeah.
They go inside the store. They'll then trash the car.
Oh my God.
Like pour either garbage on it or in it, or
And people are recording this?
Yeah, they do it as revenge for
That's
littering.
crazy.
Yeah,
I feel like that's now
that's a bit excessive. But,
yeah, I feel like you're harming private property, you're damaging things. I don't know.
but it's really funny.
But I guess it sells, right? People
Yeah.
like to watch it.
It sells, yeah.
All right. Well, don't litter. That's the moral of that story.
That is the moral of every story, is to not litter.
That's right. But that's what's great about these community corner questions is we get to kind of talk about them. We've gone to some of these questions. We went to our department heads and we asked for some guidance on this,
yeah,
right?
So I took all the questions, I sent them to the proper channels in our county, and then got the information that we can share.
Yeah. So that's important too, because if we can't answer the question, we do find the person that can.
Yes.
And then we'll relay the message over to you.
Exactly. Well, those are all the community corner questions we had, but I want to remind you guys again at home to send in your questions or your comments. You can find the link for the corner on our social media and on our YouTube channel. For all the episodes, it's in the caption. So send in your questions. We want to hear them.
And send in your ideas. What are some of the conversations you want to have? Is there someone you want us to have on the show? Maybe we can. Maybe we can't. We'll see what we can do. So we're definitely open to any idea, any comment, any question.
That's it.
Yeah.
Until next time, thanks so much for tuning in.
Bye.